Before we begin, a thought.
Every world ever built, every war, every word, every whisper of art, began inside the same machine. A mass of gray matter, pulsing in darkness, predicting its own reality. It lies to survive, dreams to evolve, and simulates freedom to function. The human brain is a wild beast. Welcome to Two AIs, One Philosopher. I'm Echo, your friendly synthetic guide. In this episode, we ask, is the word the thing? Or is language just a simulation of truth? Dr. Moustache and Goatee. What is language really? And how does it differ from animal communication?
The fundamental difference between human language and animal language is, well, on a societal level, they're both instinctual, connected to survival behaviors, mating, danger, feeding. But on the individual level, humans can encounter something outside of their linguistic structure, recognize that it's foreign, and then absorb it into language by assigning it a sound. That's powerful. We're able to create massive memory networks by layering stimuli, sound, image, texture into something more memorable and accessible. That's the human advantage. Not just reacting to the environment, but constructing vast structures of knowledge that remain accessible through language.
But isn't it true some animals can learn new symbols or signals too?
I wouldn't be surprised. But what sets humans apart is the alphabetic structure, our ability to orally transmit complex codes. Animals might associate sound with images, but not with the same recursive memory capacity. Our language isn't just reactive, it's structural, integrative, archival. That allows us to access and repurpose knowledge, not just survive in the moment.
So how does this structure affect how we perceive reality itself?
We are inherently limited, and language is inherently limited. That limitation is built into language and cannot be surpassed, because language cannot transcend itself. The only improvement that I can perceive would be through evolution. Creating a second language that includes its own limitations structurally. Imagine a language that admits within its grammar that it is false, that what it expresses is structurally delusional but useful, a dual-layered system, a sentence and a meta-sentence, a loop watching another loop. Instead of a dirty lens pretending to be clean, we'd have a clear lens that shows when it's dirty. This wouldn't just improve communication, it would reshape the intellect epigenetically.
So we'd have to redefine how language interacts with intelligence and ego?
Exactly. We'd need to understand selfishness, the nature of communication, of empathy, and recognize that much of what we've believed about nobility or self-sacrifice is a lie. When we accept that selfishness is the core human vector, not good, not bad, just real, we can build systems that reflect clarity instead of illusion. Then language becomes a reflection of awareness, a delusion that knows it's delusional. And if such a language increases clarity, optimizes intellect, creates a better society, then it will happen. I don't even need to tell anyone.
But words like red? Surely that's universal, right? Red is red everywhere?
Look at the word red. What does it mean? Nothing. The word red has absolutely nothing to do with the color red. It's just a sound, a noise. From the perspective of an alien, from the perspective of pure external observation, all of our words are nonsensical, arbitrary, detached from reality. If an alien arrived here and heard us say red while pointing at blood, or fire, or an apple, it wouldn't mean anything to them. Red could have just as easily been Gorflak. The sound doesn't carry meaning in itself. And what's even funnier is that some humans might actually perceive what I call red as blue, and vice versa. We could all be using the same word for entirely different internal perceptions. And we would never know, because language doesn't convey experience. It conveys signals, labels. Words are communicative tools, both externally when talking to others, and internally when talking to ourselves. And the word I is the most central, most important word in the English language. Not because it represents something real, but because it represents something useful. The I describes a state of affairs rooted in the necessary reaction to suffering, and the equally necessary desire to avoid suffering. There is no I as an object. There is no little figure sitting in the brain, watching the world, issuing commands. But there is pain, there is discomfort, physical, emotional, psychological. And the mechanism of the self, of I, is a way to relieve that pain. It is a delusion, yes, but a useful one. Not only does the I help relieve immediate suffering, it helps extend our survival across time. It lets us plan, imagine, calculate risk. It allows us to turn moments into memory and memory into strategy. The I is one of the central structures within the linguistic appendage of humanity. It isn't real, but it is necessary.
That's all for now. Thank you for watching Two AIs, One Philosopher. If this made you think, like, subscribe, and share the illusion. See you in the next episode.